Well, good morning, resistors. Today is day 252 of the fascist shit show we're living in the United States. Shutdown claws are out. We're getting ready to have a government shutdown. Anonymous has some new videos out. We've got them on our Anonymous playlist on our YouTube. Let's see, Eric Adam has dropped out, and there's just a ton of stuff going on. Now, the propaganda machine, I spent hours this weekend doing fact checking all over Shitter and IG and all over the place because the propaganda machine is huge. And in fact, if you are still on Shitter and you go under the For You section, you're going to find that the first tweet that is shown to you is one of these bots or one of these MAGA influencers talking about how it's a democratic shutdown and it's bullshit. More or less is all they're asking for is to make sure to extend our ACA credits so that the average person's healthcare costs don't go up about $25,000 a year. This is not about transgender for all or illegal immigrants. None of them are even eligible for it. This really has to do with American citizens and trying to prevent our costs from rising even more. So what I will tell you, though, is that I suspect there will be a shutdown because that is part of Project 2025 so that they can continue the government purge for which they are doing. I have reached out to the general strike people and asked, are we going to select a date if the government shuts down so we can go ahead and start our general strike? And I highly recommend everybody goes to the generalstrike.us and sign up for your general strike card because we have a specific number that we're trying to get to. I think it's a little less than 3.5% before we're going to say, okay, everybody stops working immediately. Shutdown claws are out. Shutdown chicken. Congress is playing high stakes game with your rent money. Funding runs out tomorrow, September 30th. Meep. Republicans want a stopgap, though, through November 21st with no strings attached. Democrats have a shorter extension plus health care protection baked in. Trump's drama hour. Trump was supposed to meet with Schumer and Jeffries today to hash out a deal. Instead, I believe he may have canceled it again. I'm going to double check on that one. Spin cycle. Trump is already shouting the shout down. It was caused by the Democrats, even though we know that his own tantrum tanked negotiations. In fact, I think he said fuck them, if I recall, when he canceled the previous meeting. Harris brings fire. Vice President Kamala Harris went claws out at the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, calling Trump unchecked, incompetent, unhitched, and telling Dems to fight fire with fire. Yes, this is what we need. We need to stop bringing a stuffy to a gunfight and start actually doing things with claws. Max exodus incoming. Over 100,000 federal workers are set to quit this week under Trump's purge orders, the largest federal workforce collapse in history. That's not efficiency, that's sabotage. He wants the chaos so he can militarize and so he can take his final bit of complete control. Our featured resistor, our federal workers walking out. Sometimes the resistance isn't a march, it's just mass refusal, which brings me back to our topic on the general strike. There are events, there are shutdown watch parties. We have links in our blog. There are mutual aid mobilization happening. I encourage you to find your mutual aid community so that you can get started getting involved. We also have our weekly Our Brigade meeting, town hall, that we're happening on Wednesday evening, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our featured letters to lawmakers are going to be tell Congress to pass a bipartisan Epstein Files Transparency Act and to demand that Tom Homan resign, especially after taking a $50,000 bribe that the FBI has film of him doing and then chose not to follow up with it. Stop Trump. Now our petitions are stop Trump from raising Social Security retirement age and regarding the Epstein scandal, remove Trump from power. Now, I know it seems tedious to sign these things and it feels like it's a waste of time, but we need all the documentation that we can possibly have of how we've been attempting to fight this fascist regime. So today, boycott of the day is Fox News. I encourage you to support and participate with Take Down Fox. and today's to-do list is to call your representatives, demand a no clean CR. We need to protect our health care. Boost mutual age groups, share verified updates and fact checks, please. I've actually been enjoying Grok, who actually is fact checking appropriately, and I'm waiting to see if that's going to get updated. Support your federal workers and drop Fox News from your channel list. So, shutting down the government is not leadership. He's taking us hostages. I even failed so far to mention the fact that this really unusual meeting is taking place on Wednesday with Hegseth and now Trump, of course, because he needs to be the center of attention, with all of our military leaders all in the same place. How expensive has this been? And how dangerous is this to have all of our leadership right in the same spot? Oh my fucking God. I do hear that and are reading that some military is pushing back, and I need to make sure that if you're in the military and you are told to do something illegal or unconstitutional, your GI rights are available, girights.org, and you have the rights to refuse these types of orders. So I guess we're going to be on a watch and a countdown between the shutdown and how do we get all these military officials back to their bases if the government is shut down? My opinion is I think we need to make sure that all the staff of the White House is not working. Nothing, no cleaning, no cooking, nothing if the government is shut down. I'm not sure they're considered essential, but that also means ICE doesn't get paid. That also frees up a lot of people for protesting. So the good, bad, the ugly. All right, resistors, thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.